guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm here at this undisclosed location because guess what? I have the this all-new model from Lexus. This is the 2019 UX 250H. So let's talk a little bit about Lexus. Lexus is that premium brand from Toyota. Lots of luxury, lots of great reliability and style. This UX 250H is gonna slot in at a great way to get into the brand in a fun, sporty, attractive package. But guess what? With this model, you're gonna get that hybrid technology with maximum MPGs. Now, if you're wondering what's the competition for the UX 250H, you're looking at the BMW X1, the Audi Q3, and the Mercedes-Benz GLA. So let's go ahead and dive into this all-new model from Lexus, the UX 250H. Right off the bat, what I love about it, it looks like a Lexus. I really like the style of the headlight housings. It's got the triple beam optional LED lighting, really wild how it's positioned inside the housing. You have that familiar Lexus swoosh design for the daytime running lamp that is LED, and I'm so glad that they just integrate it right into the housing. Now, when you're looking at the front fascia, there is this fake vent here, which I am gonna zonk. I wish it was at least an air curtain. I think that would help with aerodynamics, but it looks really, really menacing. LED lighting down below, and then as we work our way across the front, there's that spindle design grille from Lexus, really designates their brand. Of course, you're gonna have the Lexus logo, and of course that blue is representing the hybrid intentions of this particular vehicle. I like the nice brushed aluminum around the grille, and just really from one side to the other, really screams fresh, new design, and definitely some cool aerodynamic design. I also really think that when you look at the hood, there's a nice power bulge going on as you go from the front fascia up onto the hood. If you're wondering what is the color of this car, it's very unique. It's called Nori Green Pearl Metallic, sparkles like a diamond out here in the Florida sun. Now, when we come around the corner, here's where you're gonna see a little bit of a flared out fender. It's flat ABS, black plastic, really gives it a nice kind of rugged look to the luxurious overall feel of this particular Lexus. Design of the wheel, I'm liking it. I like the gray, I like the brushed aluminum. When we're looking at, well, what size is this wheel? This is an 18-inch wheel, 225 on the width, 50 series tire. It's gonna give you a nice ride as you're going down the road. Great body lines. Everywhere you look, love the body lines. On the fender, into the A-pillar, they black out the top of the mirror here, very slim on the LED turn signals, and you can see just a little bit of shiny chrome bit just to give it a little bit of extra something. I do think it's great that they went with nice small quarter windows right up front, and then like the silver trim around top and bottom of the side windows, you have a brushed aluminum, very low roof rail and sunroof. As we work our way back, see the shape as it goes into that rear quarter window. They extend the treatment right into that rear door. And then also the body line, very, very nicely done. Now, if some of this body line, these body lines are starting to look a little familiar, this is actually built on the same chassis as the Toyota CHR. And then of course, before we even miss the side, you have the hybrid badging down low by the sill extension down there to let you know that this does have that hybrid technology, electric motors, both front and rear, which gives you all-wheel drive. Out back, nothing but Lexus. I'm really digging the LED taillight design. I also like the way it connects from one side to the other. There's that blue Lexus badge, UX 258 with the blue, and then very clean. It just has that single exhaust tip right over here, very clean, very out of the way. Little bit of a diffuser underneath there, because remember, the point of a hybrid is also to cut through that air a little bit more efficiently than your standard internal combustion engine car to give you those maximum MPGs. But I like the flat black, really blends in well with those fender flares. But why don't we pop the hood and see what we're working with this UX 250H. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the UX 250H. My zonk right away is of course gonna be that prop rod, especially on a Lexus product, but engine actually looks pretty good, that engine cover. You can see that it is the Lexus hybrid drive setup. Now, what we're talking about when we say all that fancy lingo is that's a 2-liter naturally aspirated engine. It's mated to a CVT transmission, so inline 4 with the 2 electric AC motors. You're looking at total horsepower, 181 horsepower, and 151 pound-feet of torque. When you're looking at speed, 0 to 60, 8.6 seconds, quarter mile, 16.6 seconds. It does weigh 3,600 pounds, but you know what? The best part, you may not have been blown away by the 0 to 60, but definitely MPGs blows me away. 41 in the city, 38 in the highway, in a pretty futuristic package. Let's go ahead and check out the interior of this UX 250H. All right, guys, we're inside the 2019 Lexus UX 250H. I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I like the styling. It gets really good fuel economy. How much is it? MSRP, the way that this one's optioned, $41,725. Let's see what you get to the door panels. Now, what I like about the door panels is that this one is optioned with the brown leather interior. So you have the brown to break up all that black material on the door. It is soft material everywhere you touch. I just wish there was a little bit of something, maybe some contrast stitching or something on the door panel to break it up a little bit more. Now, as you go from the door to the dash, I love this leather style material that we got going on here. That nice stitch work. You have soft material, both top and bottom. I'm digging the flat black. It's like a metallic flat black. I like it because it doesn't show a lot of fingerprints all over the place. As we come in, you have your infotainment all the way up front. It's not a touch screen, but it is over 10 inches in design. Also, you'll notice that Lexus analog clock, something you see on the upscale brands, no matter which one it is. As we work our way down, more of that flat metallic black, little bit of silver trim. I like the AC vents. I really dig the push button start. It's got that blue hybrid color. Also loving the AC controls, dual climate, and I like the toggle switches. It actually toggle here, and then it'll also show on the infotainment system screen as well. Nice touch. Of course, you're gonna get Sirius XM, HD radio. You do have a CD player, so you can play your Bon Jovi and White Snake CDs. Ventilated and heated seats in this one. It has a very convenient pop-up 12 volt. I like that. Look how smooth that is. So there's a little cubby here. I have my garage door opener, but you push this, that's where your 12 volt is. 2 cup holders. This is going to be controlling that CVT transmission. I like the leather and I like the brown contrast stitching. And then I'm really loving Lexus's touchpad here. When you utilize it, if you notice on the screen, when you go to the screen, you can actually see me dragging the cursor around on the navigation screen. It gives you a nice little pulsate. Every time you select something, I go to menu, you come across the bottom here, and it lets you select, and it pulsates just like an iPhone. Very nicely done. Of course, you're gonna get Apple CarPlay in this particular model, but very easy to use, and it's so clear, and I like the way it's positioned far enough away from where you're sitting. Now, another thing that's all new is you do have extra controls. Besides the controls here, you have extra controls around the front of the armrest, radio, and whatnot. You have your full EV button, and then of course, you have your armrest. Now, if you're saying, well, Joe, what about your passenger? Well, guess what? They got you covered. So you could go in either way, 2 USBs, and you could run the cord conveniently out and to the person's lap or their hands. Nice soft material, and then these seats. They're awesome. They're comfortable. I love the design. Perforated in the center, little bit of black, full electric assist, of course. And I'm telling you, I've been driving this around for the past week. Ultra comfortable. Even the sunroof. So you see how I'm sitting, 6 feet tall. I got plenty of headroom there, and I'm gonna be able to get the rays of the sun down on me so I can feel nice and good with vitamin D. But why don't you come on over? I'm gonna show you how good it feels behind the wheel of this UX 250H. All right, guys, business end behind the wheel of the new UX 250H. Remember, of course, H stands for hybrid. I love how you could get the seat exactly the way you want it for your body. I'm 6 feet tall and I feel great behind the wheel. Speaking of the wheel, beautiful leather, nice and soft. I like the brown contrast stitching, crisscross pattern all the way around, flat buttons for all of your cruise control. You could turn on your lane keep assist and all that great stuff. And I like the way it's just nice and flat and smooth. A little bit of dark gray there. You have your arms for windshield wipers and headlights. One thing I want to show off before we get to the dash is you actually have 2 knobs up here. Something different I've never seen in any other car. So you can actually shut off your traction control just by this knob over here, and then on the other side to your right is you have 3 different drive modes: sport, normal, and eco. And watch the dash since we're speaking about that. When you look at the center there, I'm in sport mode, there's your normal, and there is your eco mode. So it actually changes depending on what mode you're in. Plus you have nice LED digital display that you can scroll through your range and all that great stuff. You have an analog coolant gauge and an analog fuel gauge, but everything else feels really great the way that it's positioned. Frameless mirror, spot on. I love those, kind of cleans up the view. Let's go ahead and check out the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna be sitting in the UX 250h. All right guys, back seat time in the UX 250h. I'm 6 feet tall. Now what's surprising is with the low roof on this thing, I still have plenty of headroom, which is great. The only issue was actually getting into the back seat. Once you're in, the seats are very comfortable. Now one thing I want to show you is that this thing is almost like a chopped hot rod. If you notice, look at how high the door panel is compared to the height of the window. And even for the front passenger and driver, it's the same story. The doors come up very high in this. It's a very unique feeling. So that's one thing that you're just gonna have to take in consideration. You do have 2 AC vents back here and 2 USBs, which is really, really smart. Glad to see that Lexus took care of the people in the back, at least when it comes to technology-wise. And then of course, you're gonna have a nice soft armrest. It's at a great height, 2 cup holders with plenty of space. To be honest with you, I could actually ride back here for quite a while. I don't feel cramped and I don't feel claustrophobic, which is great. But why don't we go ahead, check out the cargo area and see how usable this car is for every day. All right guys, we gotta see how much junk can you put in the trunk of this UX 250h. Before I do that, let me just show off the key fob. I know a lot of you like to see this. Very attractive looking key fob. I like the silver, the blue because it's a hybrid, and there's your buttons on the back. But we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put this back in my pocket, and we're gonna open up the back hatch area by pressing a button right there. You get a little chime, electric assist, which is really nice. The only problem is how high this space is. There's a good amount of space, but if you need something more, you're gonna have to flip down the seat. So I'll go ahead and show you just like that. And if you look, they do fold very, very flat, totally flat pretty much. It's actually dropping down a little into that mid row, but my biggest zonk for the back has got to be the height of where the bumper is compared to the ground. So if you're trying to get something in, you got a bit to go to get it in. But I'm telling you, surprisingly, with the seats down, tons of room. With the seats up, it's at a premium, the amount of real estate back here. But why don't we go ahead, take this for a spin, and see how it drives. Hey guys, we're in the 2019 UX 250h. What I love about it is how comfortable it is. I'll be honest, when I first got into it, it took me a while to get used to because of the way that the dash is kind of up a little higher with the hood. And like I said, the side doors are a little higher than what I'm used to in a lot of the different vehicles that we drive on Rady's Rise. But once you get used to it, it's actually very, very comfortable. The seating position is great. The seats are so soft and supportive. And everywhere you're looking and touching, you know that you're in a Lexus product. I really like the 10-inch infotainment system screen. The navigation works great. The dash in front of you has all these different readouts for eco mode when you're charging, power, and all that kind of stuff. So that's really great and easy to see. And the steering wheel is a typical Lexus steering wheel, and I really, really like the style of these steering wheels. Interior, when it comes to noise, it's on the quieter side for sure, and just very smooth. You know, you have that all-wheel drive stability because you have an electric motor out back. Up front, you have the internal combustion engine with an electric motor. Now, it still is front-wheel drive bias, but you do have some power back there with that electric motor for the rear wheels, which is nice to have. Like I pointed out earlier, you can change the modes. When you go into sport, it tells you on the infotainment screen, but it also changes the instrumentation in front of you, which is nice. Let me go ahead and get on throttle. So typical CVT shifting experience, or I should say transmission experience, because there isn't any gears in a CVT. I love the weight of the steering wheel. very, very nice feel. You feel engaged to what's going on at the front end of the business. And like I said, it's an easy car to drive, and it's very fun. It's a fun car to drive because of the different settings and whatnot. I think the most fun you're gonna have is as you keep passing gas stations, because 41 miles to the gallon, very, very substantial, really going to save you from having to make stops on a long trip when you're getting that kind of fuel economy. But just a very smooth driving Lexus product, and at a price point that people that maybe just got that promotion or whatnot can go out and get themselves. They're ready to go from a Toyota product to a Lexus product, and you have that great reliability and all that wonderful style. And that nori green metallic, very nice color. All right, guys, as we go through this bend here, very smooth. You know, when you get on throttle, with the electric motors, you really feel that extra oomph for sure. Considering the size of this compact CUV, that's what we're looking at here, is a compact CUV, but just very smooth and engaging, which is surprising for a hybrid vehicle. Like all the different contrasting colors in here, this tan leather interior really helps brighten things up. The lighter headliner is really nice, and just very, very smooth experience when we're driving here. All right, guys, so hopefully this gave you a nice roundabout of what this Lexus is all about, with the ventilated seats and how the controls are. Everything is a breeze inside as you're driving, and you know, decent visibility. I was surprised. I thought the visibility would be bad. Now, the rear pillars, there are some blind spots, but if you use your mirrors properly, the mirrors work great in this car, especially the way that they're positioned and the size of them as well. But hopefully this gave you a nice kind of overall feel about the UX 250h. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, and I'll see you back at our undisclosed location in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a fun, wonderful time with this 2019 Lexus UX 250h. It's nice to see manufacturers trying to make a variety of vehicles to fit all the different lifestyles, and definitely this Lexus slots into a place where you're gonna get some great styling, you have all-wheel drive capability, and you have that Lexus reliability. But anyways, I definitely gotta thank Corey and everybody over at Toyota and Lexus for allowing me access to this press fleet vehicle for a week. If these are the types of things that you like to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give a huge thank you, sweating it out in the summer sun. Fun here in Florida. Big Guns McGee, Tom Motioner, the women are loving him. They love his sweaty pores and everything else. But thank you, Tom, for your hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.